Looks like it's been there a while. I guess we should just bring the cloth with us. Bring these down. Got 7 o'clock.
All right, it is 7 p.m. We're going to open the meeting, our first meeting of the BZA. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'm gonna do roll call. Sandra Wood. Here. Corbin Abel.
Present.
Norm Warner.
Here.
Robin Cooper. Beth Wood.
Here.
All right, so the next agenda item is approval of minutes from the December 16th meeting that we had.
Move to approve. I'll second.
Okay. All right, and the vote?
Roll.
All right, so the first item is reorganization of the board, election of president. Is there any nominations?
I make a nomination to elect Norm Warner for president.
Okay. Well,
Second the nomination.
okay. All right. Is there any other nominations? Okay. We'll close nominations, vote, the vote?
Yes.
Abstain.
Okay. 3, 1. All right.
Thank you, folks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll entertain a nomination for vice president.
I nominate Corbin Abel.
I'll second that. Any others? Close nomination. Motion to close nomination.
I'll make a motion to close.
And a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right. Corbin Abel.
All righty.
Actually, we should have voted
You're
on
welcome.
his position, shouldn't we? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
All in favor of Corbin Abel as vice president, raise your hand. Now we'll close nomination. Congratulations, Corbin.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry. Been a long week. Okay. Next item of business, design variance on setback for Travis Barber. Before, yes, sir.
Right before we do, can we do real quick, the annual check for offices for the statute? Just to make sure that everyone is in
Sure.
jurisdiction.
Sure.
So Susan, for the minutes, it's Indiana Code 37-7-4905. So BZA members, does anyone here hold an elected office outside of BZA? None, good. Does anyone hold an appointed office that is not a committee precinct chairman or vice chairman, or you could have membership in the planning commission, but you have any other appointed office outside of those two? No one, very good. Is everyone a resident of Owen County?
Yes.
Yes. Is everyone a resident of the unincorporated, meaning you do not live in Gosport or in Spencer, you live in the unincorporated?
Yes.
Yes.
That satisfies, so everyone is in compliance with 36-7-4905, and we don't have to do that again until next year.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep.
Okay, design variance on setback for Travis Barber. Before we start, let me read the Indiana code that applies. Okay, pursuant to Indiana Code 36-7-4912, I'm sorry, that's the one for reorganization. IC 36-7-4-918. A variance may be approved under that Indiana Code only upon the determination in writing that the following: the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to that property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner, and the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in physical difficulties in the use of the property. That's the three pieces that we have to verify before we can grant the variance. In a hearing, the board shall fix a reasonable time for the hearing of the variance, and that was done. Public notice in accordance with Indiana Code 5312 and 5314, and due notice to all interested parties shall be given at least 10 days prior to the date of the hearing. Publication must be made at least 10 days prior to the hearing. Interested parties are notified by certified mail. Did we?
Yes, we did that.
Okay. At least 10 days prior to the hearing, the planning director shall post and maintain a sign on the subject property. I was out there yesterday, it's there. At least 10 days prior to the hearing, man, I'm on it tonight. A person may not communicate with any member of the board before the hearing to intent to influence the member's actions on the matter pending before the board. I assume no one has spoken to the applicant. Okay. All lots, this is a setback, so I'm going to read through the lot setback ordinance or code. All lots shall have a building setback line which shall be established to complement the development pattern of the subdivision, but which may not be less than the following: setback from the road right of way at 75 feet, and that's the one that's in question tonight. There's also a 25-foot setback from the sides. That one's not in question tonight. So, Mr. Barger, if you would come up, state your name for the record, and then present your case, please.
My name is Travis Barber. We bought the property out there, and the reason why we need to get the setback changed is when I had my septic put in, where they had to put it, I mean, the property's sort of here, and then it starts dropping off and down like a big ravine. Well, where the septic had to set, it put my house, because it's going to be 86 foot this way, it's going to put the house too close to the road. And that's the reason why I'm asking for the variance.
Anything else? Okay, so I was out there yesterday. If somebody says there was a weird guy walking around knocking on your thing, it was me. And he's right, if he goes back any further, his place will be setting on top of his septic, which obviously can't work. It falls off very much in that back corner. And he's asking for a 55-foot setback off of the middle of the road. I have one concern, and I will tell you now. The driveway side closest to Cloverdale, so whatever direction, I think it's east, but that hump there that kind of shields you from seeing down 42.
Yeah, you're talking about on that.
Yeah, so when I backed out, I look this way, I can see all the way to that corner and around going to the west. East, I see dirt.
Okay.
I would like to see that shaved down so that you have better view of 42, only because not too far out there, there's a curve. And it's kind of blind and they fly on that road. So just for your benefit and the public's, I would like to see you cut that down. Is that piece your property?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Can I answer that with two pieces?
yeah, go ahead, I'm just,
For one, like where the driveway's at now, when we build the house, I'm gonna move that driveway over, probably
which direction?
back towards where it's all cleared,
Okay,
to the
okay,
west.
Farther away from the hump.
Yeah, it'll be
Okay.
further away from that hump.
all right,
I'm actually gonna move it back probably, I think 25, 30 feet probably. And then
Okay.
number two, once I get that done, I am gonna knock out that hump,
okay.
because I'm gonna level all that up over there.
Okay, so that was the only obstruction that I saw that would make potentially where you're wanting to go a problem. So I'd like to get that in the minutes, that I'd like to see that leveled down where you can see down through there. I don't want you guys to get hit and I don't want anybody to hit you. I mean, it's good for everybody if we do that, my opinion, so. Does anybody else have a comment about it? I mean, everybody's seen
That
it.
driveway was there when we bought the property.
Okay. Well, I just know when I went to back
Yeah,
out, I was
it
like,
is.
that's
It
gonna
is.
be an issue, yeah. You guys have anything else to say on this?
I do have one question.
Yeah.
Cause I put 55, but then I got to thinking about it the other day, and we was out there, it was real cold.
Mhm.
And I mean, you know what I mean, it was just sort of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How big of a deal is it gonna be if I end up at like 54? You know what I'm saying? Cause I don't know.
It's a little less than 55.
Yeah, I mean, cause I mean, if that's the case, I'd like to go to 50, just so I know I got, you know what I mean, cause I don't wanna break. the rules.
55, I'm okay. 50, and I know it's only 5 feet, but it's 5 feet closer to the center of 42. You know, we're talking about a road that's 20 feet wide, so you're 10 feet, and then you're only 45 if you're at 55 from the edge.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna stay within 55, I just didn't,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure where, you know what I mean, if I was this way, or, you know, if I went that way, you know what I mean? If I went exactly a straight line.
So what's the question, if we do approve 55, do we have to go out there once it's built, verify that it is 55?
Would the building department have to do
Who's
that?
the one that verifies that 55 is actually?
Yeah, I mean,
The building department?
I have Rick check the measurements off of the house when you start the foundation, so.
Yeah, once the foundation's in, I mean, that's where the house is gonna be, then we can tell then.
I mean, the stretch where, I've not seen it, but the stretch where the house is at, is there much of a curve where we're coming in, or is there a pretty flat area coming before you know someone goes off the road and hits your house, you know, and that's what?
It's kind of straight. There's a pretty good curve on that's probably a 100-foot stretch through there. At the end, there's a pretty good curve to the west and a real good curve to the east. And like I said, that mound of dirt kind of obstructs that one direction. My concern is if we go much closer than 55, we're going to squeeze the road. That being said, there's many, many properties out there that are a lot closer than that to the road, but I can't do anything about those. Those are grandfathered, but I would prefer to keep it at 55 if you at all can.
I mean,
Okay.
just so I understand too, I mean, how did the house plans 86 feet, but is that set in stone, or is it something that you can be 82 or 84? I mean, I don't know what kind of flexibility you have there, but I mean, it's.
I mean, I had to, I mean, I could probably figure out some way to get it shrunk down, but I mean, it's a 3-bedroom with a den and a 3-car garage, and I mean, that's where it gets me, because I brought the plans, I mean, just in case y'all wanna see them, but the house is sort of like this, And then the garage is the only thing I'm worried about, because it actually steps out just a little bit further. You know, the house actually sits here, the garage sits out.
But the 55 feet will be from the garage, right? The farthest point of the house, correct?
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
so it has to be-
it's whatever's the closest
Yeah, whatever's
point.
close to the road is that's where the garage would have to be at 55.
What's the difference between the edge of the garage and the beginning of the house?
Give me 1 second, I'll be able to tell you.
Because the picture I got just shows a house, it doesn't show.
Right,
a garage.
there's no
So that's
garage.
why I don't.
Yeah, it's a square here, so.
It's hard for me to visualize.
How much of a difference is it?
Because is
Would you
that
like me
80,
to roll
because
this
is that
out?
86 feet? No, I'm just curious, is 86 feet, is that including the edge to the garage, or is that the house and the garage sticks out closer than that? That's what I'm trying to figure
It's 11, 12.3.
12.3, that's the
From
gap.
the edge of the house to out to the garage is 12.3.
Well,
But this 86 feet includes the 12.3 for the garage, or is that just for the house, and then you're talking 12.3 on top of that for the garage?
No.
So I'm saying, okay.
What I'm saying is when I measured it, I'm not exactly sure if you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where I measured it from, if it was different, you know, like she's there and I run this way, or if I was exactly straight because it was cold, it was wet, and we was slipping and sliding all over the place. I was trying to get everything done. And, because I'm pretty sure that 55 is gonna be plenty. But I didn't wanna be,
and you're talking to the garage, 55 off
Yes,
the
sir.
road.
Okay, that's what I was just making sure.
yeah, because the garage actually.
So your
comes
house
out.
is actually gonna be 66 feet off the road.
Yes, the house itself, yeah, will be an additional 12 feet off the road.
So I'll tell you what I'd be willing to do, and I'm just one, 52 and a half, that's as close as you can go with your garage.
Okay.
And then your house is 63, 64 off the road.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty close to 75 with just the garage coming a little closer to this. I mean, that's what I'm thinking, is
Your
everybody.
living space is safer, again.
Right, I
safety
mean-
concerns, you're further away, so you
We're
have-
talking 2.5 feet, I know it's not much, but we were told 55. I'd be willing to go 52 and a half, does that sound reasonable to everyone? Okay. So as long as we don't have a garage closer than 52 and a half feet from the center of 42.
Would that require a motion to make that?
Yeah, we'll need to make a motion and vote on it, I'm just
Okay.
trying to get the Ts crossed and the Is dotted here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that the finished garage is not closer than 52 and a half feet from the center of 42. And then the mound of dirt will need to be cut down where he can see to the east. And that's the motion, and then I would move to approve at that point if those two things happen.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor by myself, seconded by Corbin. All in favor of that? 4-0. And then can we make sure that either Rick or whoever's on the building would just go back and verify that once he lets us know that the foundation's done? Because they'll have to come out and look at your footers and all that anyway. Really, we could probably tell once the block.
You said you were gonna build it yourself.
Yeah, I'm building.
He's gonna do a log cabin, so he'll have to tell me whenever he's gotten the foundation in
Okay.
to be able to do that, because we don't go check unless it's an electrical.
Okay.
So
We don't look at the foundation work or anything?
we don't look at anything, we give that to them to do it as, cause
So get your tape measure out and just make sure that we're all on the same page and we'll get along just fine.
Yes, sir. And I got one question about that mound,
Uh-huh,
because that's gonna be something that I was planning on doing after I got the house built, so I could move all my
yeah,
stuff out of
as
the way.
long as it happens before you're living there and trying to get out on that road, I'm good. So if you wanna do that after you're finished with the house, I mean, is that kinda where you guys are at on it?
Okay.
I'm not trying to be a hard case, I just,
No.
when I went to back out there, I'm like, this is a problem. And if you move that further into that straightaway, it's gonna help with the angle.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid that you guys are gonna back out of there and somebody's gonna come around there at 60 miles an hour like we all know they do.
Yeah, we added gravel there so that we could turn around up in.
Right, yeah, I appreciate it, I walked on it yesterday, I was trying, I've umpired for years and refereed and stuff, and I marched it off like I would a penalty. just to kind of get a feel for how we're talking here. So I think 52.5 will be fine. That's gonna be plenty. As long as you get that mound taken care of and we make sure that's the furthest it comes out.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Right.
Well, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.
No, just for
I'm sorry.
Susan's minutes, she'll just need a factual basis for each three of the areas. Like that you've looked at it and that you found that it's
Okay.
not interest, it doesn't affect the property values and the strict application. She will
Okay.
need a fact for each one.
All right. Does that need to be handwritten or can I send it in digital form
No,
here?
you need to do it here in the
Oh, okay.
meeting,
Okay.
so that she will
I
have
got
a
you.
factual basis to do it, right?
Okay. So going back to our Indiana code. If I can find it. Okay. Here it is. Okay. Approval will not be injurious to public health, safety, moral, and general welfare of the community. If we get that mound taken care of, that'll satisfy that one, I think. And it'll also, the 52.5 foot setback for the garage those two things will meet that requirement. Use and value of the areas adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantial matter. It sounds like it's gonna be a pretty nice place to me, actually. So I think, I can't see it hurting property values, at all. What do you guys, anybody's got anything on that?
No.
So the use and value of the areas adjacent to that property, I don't see them being adversely affected. And then the last thing, strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties. And that ridge falling off the way it does, that's pretty straightforward as well. If he goes back any further, he's gonna be on top of his septic, and they had to put the septic there because behind that, if you were building a crawl space there, you're gonna have an 8-foot wall in that back corner.
Yeah.
So,
And then normally you just take a motion to adopt those findings of fact.
okay, so with that being said, can I have a motion for?
I will
the
make a
fi-
motion.
Okay, Beth, I need a second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor of the stated motion, meeting the criteria that we have to meet? All in favor? 4. Are we good, Jim? Okay. All right, Mr. Barker, hey, good luck to you. I'm gonna come by there after you get her done, cause I love log cabin, I gotta tell
It
you.
ain't gonna be a log cabin, actually, no, that's just a log.
Oh, okay.
They made it in the 1800s, when they made a lot of log cabins.
All right, well, you guys have a good evening, be safe going home, okay?
Thank you.
All righty,
Y'all be careful. Thank you.
all right. Number 8, public comment. Got anything?
I would say, thank you, Suzanne, for doing a good job keeping up on the, stuff online. All the information there, that's nice.
She's a keeper, isn't she?
She's very good.
Okay, no public comments, BZA comments, anybody got anything? Okay, I have nothing as well, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So moved, we are adjourned.
Hey.
Jim, be careful going home, Jim.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that was quicker than I thought. The only thing I was thinking, I don't want this to be on the record,